You're watching The Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Health regulators are our subject tonight, of course, the women from Department of Public Health and Social Services. Ladies, in regards to sanitary permits, you know, we have actually an event this weekend that was postponed, but we also have the carnival. We have quite a few happenings almost every weekend that are maybe event specific, one day, maybe over the weekend type things where they sell drinks and food and all this. Now, if I was a vendor and I had a home base, basically I had a restaurant, I sold drinks and all that, but I was going out this weekend because we have a booth set up. Does my permit, my home-based permit, allow me to, again, go have a branch or a kiosk, an outlet, maybe in Tumon this weekend? Does my home permit suffice?
No.
No.
Not unless you already have a mobile food
Okay,
service
I would have had
establishment,
one
right?
previously, right? That
Yes.
hasn't expired. So anyone that, like Chamorro Village tonight, every single one of those food vendors, drink vendors and all that will have to have a permit.
Yes, they will.
Are they temporary permits though? Because
Yes.
they're
Yes.
temporary permits?
Yes.
What if they're there every Wednesday evening so they have to renew it every, how often?
Temporary food service events by law are defined as any temporary event that goes on for no more than 6 months.
6 months.
Right.
Okay, so the food vendors that only come on Wednesday evenings, say down at Chamorro Village, every 6 months they would have to renew their
Sanitary
their
permit.
sanitary permits.
That's correct.
Okay, now how about their health permit temporary? Is that a longer?
Most of them, because they have a 6-month there, most of them have a regular health certificate that expires and needs to be renewed every year. But if you have something of a shorter duration, like the Carnival, Liberation, then it's they get a temporary one for the duration of
Okay,
that.
okay. Now you have different, I guess, requirements for different things, right?
Yes.
What are some of them, without confusing us?
Well, if you have a temporary event like the carnival,
Okay.
All those food vendors, they have to have a complete enclosure.
Okay.
You have to have 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor.
Okay.
And that's what you'll see with a lot of the food vendors at the
Okay,
carnival.
okay.
As opposed to, like if you go to
Well, the barbecue beach,
The
block
barbecue
party,
beach, like
which
the
has been
block parties.
postponed. A lot of those, they have a canopy, a coverage that way, but they're not required to have the sidewalls and,
And the
a
flooring.
solid flooring.
Okay,
Right, correct.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
A lot of it
'Cause it's,
depends on duration.
correct.
Yes.
Okay, and their permits will be date specific, time specific, basically.
Correct.
Saturday from noon to 10 o'clock at night. It expires, so the following morning, Sunday morning, that's no longer good, right? So
That's correct.
It's event specific, day specific, hour specific, right?
Correct.
Well, yes.
Pretty much, right?
Yes.
Okay. The longer events is that, of course, the carnival, right? That's a longer event as well. So. I remember it used to be a couple of weeks, now it's a few months.
Yeah.
You're having to adjust that as well
Yeah.
as you work with that. How about like the village fiestas and things like that? One thing, let me ask this: does the cockfighting fall under you guys in regards to safety and health? I mean, because people can get cuts from those things. I mean, you're not the regulators for the gambling aspect of that, but is there any health aspect to the cockfighting itself, and what maybe we read about all these bird diseases that are out there, and any cuts that they may have, are they regulated through the health department somehow? No.
Not that I'm aware
No.
of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'm just wondering.
I'm not going to say that it's not a public health
Okay.
concern,
Yeah.
because it would be,
Yeah.
Yes.
but we're just not regulating.
You're not regulating that.
And I
When
don't know of
when
any
dog
complaints.
racing was legal here, well, I mean, when we had that in Guam, did the environmental health get involved with that?
Yes.
It did.
Because at one point in time, our division used to manage the animal control and quarantine.
Okay,
And part of that was that we were giving sanitary permits to commercial animal establishments, which included,
Sure,
the
sure,
Greyhound Park
sure,
racing
sure.
facility. facility.
I'm just wondering, and I knew I
Well,
threw a curveball at you guys about
and
this,
it's
but
because that we're not doing it.
Yeah.
We no longer have that responsibility
responsibility.
statutorily.
Okay.
It's actually been transferred to the Department of Agriculture.
Agriculture
yes.
now, okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because, you know, we're reading about all these bird-borne diseases and
Right.
things of that nature, and we don't know. I mean, these birds, you know, eventually they'll get cut or die, and a lot of times we see them, I mean, I don't know if that's the proper disposal, but the times that I've visited some of these facilities, I mean, we see the dead birds or wounded birds, you know, in certain areas, and, you know, you see some blood on the ground and things of that nature. To me, and I'm going, that's got to be a public health concern. Doesn't fall under you guys at this point.
That's correct.
Right, Department of Ag.
Yes.
Ag. So anyway, that being said, you're saying in regards to going back to the health certificates and all that, you have about 365 days until the implementation. Basically, where
From
the
the time
courses.
it was, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
We got a little bit lead time there. And a lot of it was to help us prepare the coursework and everything else for this.
so the folks that are coming up for either renewal or attaining their health certificates at this point, do they fall under the new requirements right now, or not necessarily?
Not until we have them implemented. And
Oh,
again, do
okay.
a public, one thing that we're big about is public education on
Okay,
this.
yeah.
So you're not going to walk in tomorrow and be suddenly slapped with a new set of requirements that you didn't know anything about. So we do plan to do a public education
Sure, okay,
campaign,
okay.
let people know the new requirements.
Okay.
One of them does relate to the temporary establishments there,
That's right.
is that we're putting a bit more stringent requirements for those. It used to be you could walk in there, give me your social security number or your birth date and $5, and 5 minutes later, you'd have a temporary health certificate.
yeah.
And we're doing away with it being that easy.
Yeah.
We're going to make you now take a brief workshop. The cost has been increased to cover the cost of that workshop. And now we're going to require a tuberculosis test, which we
okay.
require of everyone else getting
Okay,
a health
okay.
certificate as well. So we definitely want to give that education, even to those people who are only going to work for a short time, but they're handling my food. I want them to know something about the
Sure.
safety aspects of that. So we put a little bit extra attention onto those with temporary health
Yeah.
certificates.
Right.
You know, one of the things I was reading about and what is required, and Social Security is no longer required at this point,
That's
right?
correct.
And I'm reading, I'm going, the form of ID you're looking at, you can give us a credit card as long as you have a picture to substantiate who you are.
Right. Well, we have a requirement for a photo ID.
Okay,
and
okay,
a lot
okay.
of people, sometimes they're stuck. My driver's license isn't here, and I wonder how they got there. But a lot of people, I mean, if my bank issues me a credit card that has my photo
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
you know, we're now going
So
to
that
accept that
suffices,
as a
yeah,
form
yeah.
of photo ID. Yeah.
Because I understand the information, you know, sometimes, I don't think they have it anymore, but sometimes they still have Social Security numbers on there. But I'd be more reluctant to probably showing my credit card to somebody and you know, and I have my credit card number on that,
Sure.
you know.
Well, I was going to say, only if I ask you if I can make a photocopy of it, yeah. Then you should worry.
I'm looking at that, and I'm going, boy, are we getting really politically correct in these things, right? Even ID, we're not supposed to identify ourselves anymore. Who you are, you know, and all that. We'll be ID-less pretty soon, right? We'll have these chips that this is just who you are. You're just a person, and we'll become a number anymore, right?
Just get scanned.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean nowadays I think, I mean, if I feel like Jesse today, I'm Jesse. If I feel like Jessica tomorrow, that's who I want to be known as, right?
That's right. And whatever name you put on our form, that's who you're going to have your
That's it, yeah.
certificate is. Yes.
You got to stay that way at least a year, right?
Yes.
Ladies, I got to take a quick break. We come back. I think we only have time to say goodbye.